Scientists went back to 0 AD, and in Judea they found Jesus. They recorded and scrutinized his entire life and thoughts. They heard him pray to his God, in whom he had so much faith. They saw him heal sick people that had faith in him. They recorded the crucifixion on the cross and his deep meditation, where it was not sure from his thought waves if he was dead or alive. They witnessed in amazement his miraculous self-healing capabilities and how he healed his body and the body of others without any technological help remains a mystery to us to this day. They saw and heard him tell a few of his shocked followers that he has had enough and would not preach anymore. Before leaving them, he requested that his message of salvation for mankind be written down and disseminated to everyone on earth. They heard him promise that he would come back one day, unannounced. Then he walked up a steep path to a high summit. At the summit, he turned around and waved goodbye to his stunned friends below. A cloud blew over the summit, floated up, and faded away. To his followers, it looked just like he ascended with the cloud. A few hours later, a violent storm blew in, and a lightning bolt struck Jesus as he was praying to his God for help. His body was burnt to ash. Despite the achievements of science, greed continued, and human problems remained just as they have throughout history. Survival was the new moral code uniting people and drove scientists to try to build a brain out of silicon. The genome of nature had been completed, studied, understood, and recorded into computer algorithms. For 3 centuries, attempts at making programmed carbon-based brains out of silicon proved futile. It was seen that programmed emotions in a machine were like faked emotions in humans, not very convincing and very easy to recognize. It was also seen that programmed compassion was like faked compassion, easy to spot with time. Programmed feelings were too predictable and as valuable as faked feelings. Programmed desires were like addiction that eventually led to displeasure. Programmed love was as easy to spot as faked human love. Programmed hope was soon seen as meaningless and a waste of resources for machines, while human hope was seen to achieve miracles. It was seen that a programmed machine, whether digital or analog, could not think or desire. They could think in a calculating, focused way, but they could not freely ponder and imagine the unimaginable. They could desire only for need, but not for want. Family values, understood to be a vital aspect for humans, were programmed into machines, but at best, they reared their young as animals did. Machines lacked the dedication and self-sacrifice to raise and protect their offspring. In all animals, including man, the selfish gene regulated this bond. It also regulated the drive to reproduce. Man had an additional gene that no plant or other animal had, called the greedy gene. Many experiments were made concerning these genes. The selfish gene, regulating the drive to reproduce, was greatly studied because it was believed that it was related to the greedy gene. The greedy gene, found only in man's genome, was the most studied an understood gene in nature's genome. Transplanting the greedy gene into animals or plants made them infertile, and animals became vicious and rabid, attacking their own kind and killing them. Taking the greedy gene out of man made him infertile like a donkey, lacking all egg or sperm production. With the absence of the greedy gene, the selfish gene was irreversibly turned off. Unfortunately, it also made man extremely lethargic and unmotivated. Man, with his greedy gene removed, grew and developed into an unproductive adult, preferring to do nothing. He didn't play, sing, talk, read, write, laugh, or cry very much. Throughout his boring life, he was never interested in socializing, sex, and nor was anyone interested in him. So he was left alone, like a solitary monk, as he wished to be left. He never grew up, and his emotions never fully developed. He was similar to a sedated autistic. He was like a tired adult watching TV after work. Understandably, no one wanted or needed selfish and greedy machines. In laboratories studying genes, machines were given the selfish and greedy algorithms in all combinations. It was found that machines with selfish algorithms were very dangerously unreliable. They were calculatingly deceptive, as they were very good at lying. Machines with the greedy algorithm were very dangerous. They couldn't work well with machines or with people. If they were programmed with any type of emotion algorithm, they would exaggerate their emotions to their allowable thresholds, to the point of aggression, claiming it was for the sake of love. When they reached a point of torture and cruelty, they claimed it was necessary for data collection and information analysis, for the sake of knowledge. Animals with added greedy genes showed signs of cruelty that they otherwise never showed. Experimentation proved that in every animal except man, the greedy gene eventually led to self-annihilation. Scientists theorized that there must be a missing, invisible gene to mediate and regulate the greedy gene in man. They called it the morality gene. Cruelty in man seemed to imply an absence of the morality gene. Scientists wrote morality algorithms for machines, and this caused machines to eventually grind to a halt. Morality algorithms were seen to drain the computer's computing powers too much and too fast. Increased computing spent in analyzing morality issues caused increased inefficiencies that eventually resulted in reboots. It was as if the computer was overwhelmed and overloaded by shame. Despite machines being indistinguishable from humans as far as appearance, touch, or sound, it was nevertheless found that there was an easy test to tell a human and machine apart. Machines had two easily measurable capabilities that humans did not have: the ability to lie and to die without emotion.